safety, and security. One of the primary responsibilities of any government is the security of lives and properties of its citizens. In Kaduna State, we have made a lot of progress in improving our security as follows. Revamping of Kaduna State Vigilance Services. We've recruited about 7,000 additional personnel of cadres. We have equipped them. We also purchased about 100 Hilux vehicles that will distribute to core security agencies here in Kaduna State. We have performed groundbreakings and mobilized contractors to site for the following roads. Number one, 22.5 kilometer road from Gontutu Kiban to Godogodo with 2 bridges. 2, we have done groundbreaking of 35 kilometer road from Gadangayan to Gwaraji to Kwejama Junction with 1 major bridge linking Igabi and Chikun local governments. 3, we have done groundbreaking, and all these groundbreaking I'm mentioning, the work are ongoing as we are speaking, and the job or the project is going according to plans. We also tasked our agency Kadeda to upscale the number of SMEs in Kaduna State. And because of that, we leveraged on that, and we distributed about 4.2 billion naira in cash grants, fertilizer, inputs and implements to small holder farmers, persons with disability, and IDPs last week. We released grants and credits to over 7,000 SMEs in Kaduna State. As we are speaking, more SMEs are receiving grants from Kaduna State. We have also increased the number of micro, small, and medium enterprises in Kaduna State from the 2,000 we inherited to over 10,000 as we are speaking today. Only last week, we've also released additional 3.3 billion naira to pension for pension and gratuity. And we've also come up with policy on supporting our civil servants. That is the reason why we also have started the distribution of about 500 million revolving loan scheme to civil servants in Kaduna State. We budgeted 22.54 billion of our 2024 budget to the agri sector in Kaduna State. This is the highest in the history of Kaduna State. In order to support farmers and those in agri value chain, we have the following initiative currently ongoing, when orders are about to commence. Empowerment of 5,091 smallholder farmers with input mechanism.
That's enough. You really don't want to sit down and be listening to what do you call it, is budget and all other things there, because majority of what he's saying probably lies. Okay, but the issue tonight is El Rufai. Why is El Rufai and the people around him upset? Or why did Sani choose that town hall to be honest with the people, or to restate what they already knew? Because it was in the media just before Sani, immediately after El Rufai left or handed over to Sani. So it was this Sani that was in charge of the kidnapped children a few days ago. And from what we have heard before now, not that it really matter, okay? But it's just that in the scheme of things, all right, they are going to matter, okay? the journey started from what we gathered. The journey started from when this guy became governor. And he realized that it was like a trap, a job to give to you. You are supposed to be like, oh, yeah, like he realized that the whole thing was like a trap. Maybe not a trap, but like it was pretty much like they hid a lot from him to the point that he started asking questions. And they did not want him to ask questions. So some now said that, you see that rejection of El Rufai as a minister in Abuja, they said it was one first case move made by Sani. Now, I don't want you to sort of take this hook, line, and sinker, okay? It's just a theory. We do not have evidence, okay? Or you can piece all this together, and you are likely going to arrive at a near right conclusion. And I'll tell you, I'll show you how. According to Bello, El Rufai's son, the one that gave mental problem, that one like that. So he came out and he said, immediately Sani made mention of the problem he's been encountering as the governor of the state due to financial burden or indebtedness left by Sani. I'm sorry, left by El Rufai. His son, Bello, just took on Sani straight on social media. I'm talking about like that's goes for him. He started attacking and abusing him. You this ungrateful, that. It was not your fault. You are trying to tarnish the image of my father. Why are you throwing tantrums? Your father said he was leaving behind $570-something million debt and over 80 billion naira debt. And this guy just kind of mentioned that in his speech, and boom. So he now said, that Bello now said, how many days do you even spend in Kaduna? That before you became governor, you're always in Kaduna, you are always in Abuja, sleeping in Abuja. You became governor, you only visit Kaduna. You can't protect Kaduna. You want to, because you are now failing. You now want to come and use my father, my greatest, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He stays in Kaduna. He stays in Abuja more than Kaduna. That's point one. Okay. The second point is that this young boy also accused the Sani guy, Bello, El Rufai's son, accused Sani, the current clown, who is the governor, the stooge, supposed stooge to El Rufai. So Bello accused him of he has been working against the interest of his father. And they know that this is not the first time he is doing everything to undermine his father. But his father will come out, blah, 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 blah. So that was the second point, to say, what about the rumor when they said that it was actually this Sani, not Tipnumbu. It was this Sani because he was an immediate senator from Kaduna. So it was this Sani that actually ensured that the Nigerian Senate dropped El Rufai from from becoming a minister. And they said, somehow, this has been their own behind the scene, any chance they see to slaughter themselves, that they will do it politically. So when El Rufai, from what we have also heard, you know that El Rufai, like, is been giving free money to some of those who call themselves tech boys and all that. Some of them will be sellers like that from Lagos. They'll be arguing with you from Southern Kaduna, complaining about the El Rufai's dictatorship and criminality and terrorism. Somebody with the Lagos could argue with you, and they will be telling you that you are not in Kaduna, you are just enemy of progress. You are just this or that. There were actually people paid that way, okay, to tell those from Southern Kaduna that they are not from Kaduna. this El Rufai. You get that now? So from what we have gathered, they said this Ubasani guy sort of made the first chess move by ensuring that the moment El Rufai is rejected by the Senate, according to what we heard, though, they said even Tifnubu was shocked that he was rejected. But by the time he figured it out, they were now saying, okay, they should send his name back. Remember, they were saying they should send him back, send his name back again for. So that was when El Rufai's ego kicked in. Meanwhile, like I said, apart from giving money to some of these social media sellers, telling you about Kaduna that they've never visited or been to, all right? El Rufai has been funding some political parties too. Yeah, as APC, all right, as a governor, is a very good friend with some of these other smaller parties, they call them, like SDP. So if you, who believes that Nigeria can be changed, we need to change this country and we need to join hands and blah, 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 or you just want to go enter the net of these rogues. After APC, PDP, all other political parties in Nigeria are either already taken over by these criminals and their own, what do you call them again? Their proxies. Those political parties and those who are running them, they are being funded by different state governors who are PDP, APC governors. So they do that so that they can use it as a leverage, all right? Especially if they have ambition for any higher office. They can also use it as a leverage where they can use these smaller parties, like they are going to join these smaller parties to intimidate their own major, crooked parties, which is the PDP or APC. They do that too. In case if you don't know. That is why when you say, if anybody tells you that, go and join all these smaller parties, they are telling you to go and recruit and, they are telling you to go and sign up under the branches of PDP, APC. So we had to fight tooth and nail for him not to be kicked out of his own political party. Political party where she already started from scratch. They still spend so much money to try and take it over and run it down. Run Showore out of town. Labour Party is a cash and carry, sort of a transit political party. If you know if you make come for PDP, APC, if you feel pay well, you become a candidate of Labour Party. Or any of them too. It is how it is run until when Obedient jam them. Obedient can't jam and can't realize say or more. Everywhere in a cesspool of corruption, there is no real difference anywhere. It's because the system is kind of wired that way. Don't join their political party. Don't register to vote in their elections. If you do any of this, you are playing by the rules of the criminals who are destroying Nigeria. And that's how they work. So El Rufai is reported to be a very, very generous to the supposed those who are running SDP. And it is not just SDP. But I am talking about SDP because El Rufai has shown publicly, he has shown his association with the guys in SDP. And from what we heard, they said Ubasani has been issued quit notice. This is only the first time you are going to do. If you are coming for me, I will begin to actually groom the set of people that will take over from you. He is already going off what El Rufai was doing for 8 years. This guy now started going into the southern Kaduna. He is now meeting with them. He is now looking into all of the things denied them by El Rufai. And that is pretty much like a betrayal. So the drama you are currently seeing and witnessing from Kaduna could snowball, can still snowball into something else, okay? But it is not for the now. it is their own power play for the, because as we are hearing now, El Rufai will not leave APC. Don't let anybody tell you he's going to leave. No. They know how they do that, okay? The point is, El Rufai is not really jumping to be president. That's another decoy. I know a lot of you who are already telling yourself that El Rufai is aligning the North, is bringing all these guys together since they believe that Tifnumbu has failed them and is not even dying yet. Since Tifnumbu is not dying, so they will need the power back in 2027 or something like that. No. The guy is trying to save his ass before he will get roasted. And Ubasani, just like Wirewike and Fubara, they are about to go down the road. Some of the roads that will help you further escalate the situation in that contraption. And you know me, even if you don't like my face, I've told you, the breakdown and the breakup of that contraption will be done by the criminals that you think nobody can defeat, nobody can fight, nobody can blah, blah, blah. You've been telling yourselves. Once they begin to tear themselves, right? And one of these days, everything will accumulate and prove. There's something called, Igbophobia. I want to talk about that again tonight. And I want to talk about it because I know there are Igbos who live in denial of this. I am a Yoruba man, and I'm not trying to patronize you. You do not need my patronage. Okay? The reason why you have to know that, number one, acknowledging the fact that there is actually Igbophobia in Nigeria, okay, is one very big way of ending Igbophobia and any ethnic sort of bias, phobia of any kind. In Nigeria, you have a systemic phobia for the Igbos. And sometimes people say the Igbos love to play victims. And those who say this are mostly those who believes that it is actually all right to be, I don't want to say raised, to be ethnically bigoted to the Igbos. And I am not saying that there are no bigot Igbos, so don't get me wrong, okay? But I am talking about some unprovoked sort of a bigotry that I have seen. And it seems so kind of natural, right? All right, don't let me confuse you further, okay? I'll tell you what. I personally know about Igbophobia in Nigeria. And that is, if there is anything wrong, if you kind of believe that there's something wrong with Nigeria, okay, and somehow you are not comfortable mentioning the characters behind that what is wrong with Nigeria, well, you shouldn't stress yourself. Just look around and look for, or just blame the Igbos, okay? You see this kind of a bigotry continues to justify the reason why a lot of us have come to that agreement too, that except we are cutting genocide in Nigeria, genocide is, like I've said it before, is genocide can happen between the people that naturally they cannot wait to slaughter themselves if the chance presents itself. All right? And worst thing about Igbophobia is that it is also systemic. And because it is systemic, that then make it look like those who are bigots, all right, ethnic bigot. That is why they do not see it as bigotry. I'll tell you something. I think it was yesterday. Let's start with that before others, okay? So it was yesterday. The Airpeace, a private airliner from Nigeria, broke into the UK markets as the first indigenous carrier, okay, that would be a major carrier to London. And that is huge, okay? What that simply means is that for those who are actually like, flyers, travelers, you will never have to have any stopover anywhere. Not only that, you have access to cheap airfares, cheap fares, cheap ticket prices. You are also never going to be, for any reason, be treated, badly, like people have experienced in the past, right? But the one major important thing is that it is also a major forex earner. At the same time, another product and exports from Nigeria that can actually help you strengthen your naira. No joke. Your airpiece can be like BA, British Airways, Ethiopian Airways or airlines, Egypt, all those airlines, right? But all those ones, the difference is that British Airways, even though it is a private company, right, is sort of associated with the British government and British. Okay? So same with when you see Kenya Airlines or Kenya Airways, you realize that it's flying the flag of Kenya, but it is not government owned, it's private. When Nigeria, under this APC, Egbekebe, decided to spend over 87 billion naira to give Nigeria a supposed national carrier, they couldn't. In fact, Adisirika under Bokwari went to Ethiopia. He went to Ethiopia to go and bring Ethiopia Airline Abi Airways for them to put on sticker that says here Nigeria. Borrowed the plane and flew it to Nigeria. And they made Nigerians to come and clap for a borrowed flight show. So Adisirika and the rest of all these criminals, they are working free. But an Igbo man has given Nigeria a supposed national carrier. And when everyone was like, yeah, oh yeah, then the next thing, these Olori Buruku Agbadorians, Omo Ali, Omo Ironkirons, the ones we call the bastards, those who are destroying and spoiling this Yoruba name, spoiling the Yoruba image, doing all these horrible things just to keep giving the Yorubas a bad name and image for a drug dealer. So they jumped at it. The criminals who are telling you that Bokwari will succeed in giving them here Nigeria, the criminals who told you APC, Egbekegbe, will bring back here Nigeria national carrier, the criminals, the bunch of humbled slaves or voluntary slaves who couldn't say anything. When the rogues who took their money gave them a logo from Bahrain, $420,000 design logo from Bahrain by these criminals, they were not upset. But they became upset when they saw Isiagu on the earpiece hostess, as well as the guy himself, Oyema, Allen Oyema, who happened to be an Igbo man, has been of great, can I say, blessing to Nigeria that doesn't give a fuck about him, by the way, right? This guy has been like giving out his own aircraft to evacuate Nigerians who are different troubled zones all over the world, free of charge. Yeah. Maybe not free, okay? Yeah, like some logistics will be paid for, but I'm talking about where Nigeria and Nigerians were at troubled zones, troubled places all over the world. It's always been like that. Egypt, Libya, China, India, where in the recent one, yeah, Ukraine, it was there, Niger, and all these places. But like other Igbos who always believe that they have a lot to prove to Nigeria. You know, I keep telling you that if all of us want to be honest, the Biafrans that are saying they want to leave, they want to leave, they want to leave. Honestly speaking,